Awesome sauce. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a warm, blessed Friday evening. Start up to your weekend. Get the party started. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. I'm your mentally undeveloped party host, Blind Adam Wonders, the comic pimp. And this is Awesome Sauce Radio. Tonight we have an amazing guest, one of my drunken Shat Son cohorts and colleagues. He has an amazing Instagram, Spidy Hunter 12. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Adam? How you doing? What's happening?
I can't complain. Just been enjoying my dad's birthday all day. Took him and my mom out for breakfast, and I did buy birthday dinner, but my mom she's like, I'm lazy. I don't feel like cooking. So I was like, motherfucker. And then she's like, well, we'll just cook the roast beef on Sunday. I was like, all right.
That's good. Sunday's a good day for the family dinner anyway. You know that. Friday, Friday's the takeout day.
Yeah, so my mom on this. I'm ordering out. I don't care. I just feel blessed that, I was able to have one more celebrate with my dad's birthday. You never know.
That's awesome.
So how long have you, just to get to know you a little bit better, how long have you been in the comics, man?
I collect the comics, like most of us back in the 90s. I grew up, I have an older brother, and I more or less inherited his comics, destroyed his comics and things of that nature. So it was like from early as I can remember, probably I'd say about like 7 or 8, when I was in, and that was, I'm 44, so that was like in 88, and G.I. Joe was shifting, Transformers was shifting, the movies that came out, I had the figures and stuff, and I think the Turtles were rocking at that time.
Turtles, around that time period, the Turtles is the perfect gateway drug in the comics.
And it was also
the Turtles were everywhere in 88 to 90, like 92.
Yeah, of course. But not even that too. The main thing for me at that time, which is crazy, the main thing for me at that time was like Batman. I was a big fan of the Adam West show, Adam West and Burt Ward and stuff like that. That was like something I used to just watch all the time whenever it came on TV. I know if you're in New York and stuff like that, if you're on the East Coast, like you used to be able to catch it on. Yeah, you used to be able to catch it on Channel 11 also, and there was another channel, the 700 Club. Remember, like when they would have that little block on Sundays, but right before it came on all day Sunday, it would play an episode of Batman beforehand. So, when Batman 89 came out, that's when it was like I was heavy into wanting to know about Batman, read the comics and stuff like that. So it was like that was what started it. My brother always was Spider-Man head, so I always looked at Spider-Man comics and stuff like that. And when I got older to really get into him, he was my guy. And I think it was maybe like 6th grade. And after that, it was just, collecting the Marvel cards, the Impel, the 1990.
Those things were crack back in the day.
Man, listen, I was somewhat of a little criminal when I was a kid. So I definitely swiped a few of them shits from the bodegas and, from the
It's not hard to do back in the day. I used to leave the shit in a spot where if you.
They used to leave it out in the open because
I'm not condemning or condoning this, but I'm guilty myself. Back when I had better vision. My current eyesight, I'm 90% now. I'm now 95% blind. There's no way as a kid, if I had my current vision at the age of 11 or 12, no way in hell I'd be able to get away with it.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's just like, see, then again, I got cool with the one convenience store by my parents' house growing up, and I just always felt guilty and just like, I can't do it anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah, then I was like an idiot. I volunteered one day. I was like, do you think you can help us straighten something up? And I wound up working for free for this very small in the middle of the Sticks convenience store for a little bit.
Okay, nice.
Can you take the trash out? Yeah, here, take a couple free packs of this, or take a pack of cookies home.
Yeah, nah, it was getting those cards was like it was a manhunt, man. It was like I'd go to the store before school, and I knew the guy had boxes, like, it was a cigar store. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It was a real, like, spot like that. They had the spinner rack and everything, the little dirty mags in the back with the plastic on them, real lotto store, basically, those kind of stores. And man, it was something every day or every time I got some money or every time I, whatever. It was like it was just I had to go open up a pack. What number I got? Did I get a card I'm missing? To make the set and everything like that. And I was happy as hell when I made the set. I used to bring that little binder to school. Show it to people and stuff. And I think it was really when it came to the comics, it was knowing the card info on the comics because I had read the actual comics because I knew the info. I was an artist, so it was like I had the book How to Draw the Marvel Way. Uh, read a lot of the books
Yeah,
that
I actually had the VHS tape for How to Draw the Marble Way.
yeah, even before that, I had the book, like the actual book and stuff like that,
Yep.
where it showed like John Romita and Bashima and stuff like that, the skills, the head count and everything like that, how to make the bodies, and it was incredible.
I
But
had
yeah,
the
then
video
then
version
that
of that. It was one of the because that came with
then
that with Pride of the X Men.
yeah. Then of course, for the comics at that time, it was Amazing Spider-Man was, Todd McFarlane, the Venom stuff. And then it turned to Eric Larson.
Yep.
So around that time I'm like around 12, and automatically when Bagley got on, that was when it was like I was going to the cigar stores, the spinner racks or whatever, the little
Yep.
drugstores, and that was when I was buying the comics myself, like off the rack, when they were like $1 and everything like that. When the Marvel comics was, Marvel, and then the comics was the, graffiti, the Comic Sans
Yep.
print and stuff like that. And then that was it. I never forget. It was issue I think 351 with the Tri Sentinel from 351 on all the way up until like the 400s and stuff like that. Like all through high school, all up until like girls became more prominent, in the street life became more prominent. I didn't really buy comics and
Am I
stuff
the
like
only one who just like combined both of those things, like girls and the street life and comics together, and then give the comics up?
that. Nah, it was for me it was a little bit of it wasn't cool, you know what I'm saying, at that time. You know what I mean? Everybody in my circle, knew I liked comics, especially if like we first started hustling and stuff like that, and I first got a little bit of money. Of course, it was like, let me go to comic book store, let me do shit like that. But then it became more, it was like I wanted to spend all my money on sneakers and, buying champagne and clothes and,
Yeah, yeah,
went
I
on
hear
trips
that.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
the comics became like a once in a while luxury. You know what I mean? When I felt
See,
like it, if I
I made the
remember.
mistake of going to at the age of 13, going to a comic book convention with a couple of my doubles. It was around the time of the when Jason Todd got killed,
Hmm.
and sold my doubles, and I made triple my allowance, and I never had a real job since.
Yo, I never, as a kid, I remember, of course, Wizard, and it would say the books were worth this much and it would give you the little value and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I was geeked when I'd go through my brother's collection, the books he had left and stuff like that at mom's house. And I remember, finding the ASM 252, the first black suit thing. And of course, this is, like I said, I'm reading from right after the Sinister Six reunion in the 330, 320, the early 300s, right after Venom. And it's Eric Larson drawing. And it's like, oh, wow, this is the book where he first, got it. And then the other book I read after that was when he found out the suit was alive, the bombastic Bagman.
Yep.
I fell in, I fell in, I read that issue like so much. I didn't even try. I drew like the images of Spider-Man in that book and, when he was in the bag. And I drew so much of that comic, like as a kid, like it was my
I'm
brother, it was
actually
my brother. So,
shocked. I am shocked that the Bastic Bagman still is loved to this day.
Yeah, man.
To
It's
the
like it's
point when I saw him in the end, and he was either Enter or Across the Spider Verse,
mhm.
I was like, because I use
Listen,
audio descriptive, and then when they were
listen, this
describing
is
all the
this is
different, I was like, son of a bitch, they really used him.
this is really weird. That was really when it was like listening to the YouTubers, the talking heads, Adam. That was when I fully realized like a lot of these guys don't read the comics or know who these characters are. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you have to be the fucking walking encyclopedia, but for Spider-Man at least to be the character he is, the icon of Marvel and stuff like that. This is also the issue where you find out the symbiote is alive. So if you know that little bit of info, you obviously got to remember him putting on the bag and doing all that stuff. But like I said, it stuck out in my head as a kid. So it was always one of my favorite issues of Spider-Man. It was always one of my favorite issues, and it was my brother's book. So now, fast forward to now, is like I took the obvious break in collecting during the 2000s and stuff like that. Club life, hanging
Yep.
out with all that stuff. Then fast forward, I get older, I get married and stuff. I have a son, and he loves Spider Man. He started watching Spider Man on what's it called, the Disney XD. He introduced me to Miles. I was like, "Who's this little black boy in this Spider Man suit?" He was like, "Oh, that's Miles," and I was like, "Who the fuck is Miles?" So immediately, went to the on demand, rewind, watched the whole. I was like, "Oh shit, alternate universe." Again, I had been off of comics for years. I didn't know anything about any of that stuff. So the minute he put me onto that, it was like, all right, to fast forward a couple of years, he started collecting, started getting into figures, and he's, reading. So it was like, oh, we go to the comic book store, and it was Miles Morales issue 1, the one where he's on the roof.
Yep.
That one. That was when I first went back into the comic book store and picked up a few issues. Didn't really stay with it. Got the first few, picked up a couple, and looked at it, and really didn't get into it. But it was when the Red Goblin came to Amazing Spider-Man, that 790, that era before 800.
Yep.
That was when I was like, all right. I was like going to the comic book store, like, all right, faithfully. Found a shop in Yonkers that I would go to literally like every Wednesday morning after I got off work because I worked overnight. I would go by there in the morning, check the books, get my Spider-Man. Didn't know anything about specking, didn't know what ratios were, didn't I existed as a comic book kid that just went to the corner store, an occasional comic book store, and just grabbed the books I wanted to read, and that was it. No idea of flipping them, no idea of preserving them other than putting them in a bag and board, but never any thoughts of grading them or any of that kind of stuff. I wasn't that kind of collector. It was just I love the art. I like to draw, and I was like, I love to read the stories. Like even now, it's the whole thing with the spec kind of it's fun because we can theorize and everything like that, but nothing I ever really focused on really like went towards the movies and stuff. Adam, like how everybody talks about like, oh, this could be something with movies and oh, they this, that, and the third. I always looked at the comic. Even now, I still look at the comic spec as being important to the comics. It's like if this is a first appearance, I don't give a shit if he's gonna appear in the MCU. It's like the first appearance in the Marvel universe. Like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna become? And I think that's because I think of it as like that early era. Like I said, with the Impel cards, it's the reading the back info and getting his first appearance. And there were so many characters in that card set that I didn't give a shit about or knew about until I got the card set. Until I read up on them. And then it's like, all right, let me get a Marvel Comics Presents and see what the hell Deathlock is, about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let me see this, and it opened up to other characters to where it's like I know, who I had read stories with Quasar, and it was like, all right, let me read up Silver Surfer. So when the Infinity Gauntlet and all that stuff came, I wasn't looking through the book like, who the hell are these people? It was like, well, I know who everybody is in there, and I know their first appearance, and things like that. So
Yeah.
fast forward to now, it's like I like collecting, I like reading Spider Man. I will Spider-Man is my god. There's something I'm about,
What do you
guaranteed.
think of current Spider-Man books? Because lately I have a
Yo,
love hate
every
relationship.
listen, everybody. The one problem I have is the main thing that I like about the Ultimate Spider-Man is that him and Mary Jane is together.
Yeah,
I believe there is no world or no type of Spider-Man that should exist where the older version anyway, to where him and Mary Jane are together. If you were to start them over as a kid and do like the original Ultimate Spider-Man did, I had to go back and buy those books and read that story. And it starts out with the Gwen, and it starts out with all of the key characters from the original Spider-Man run, and it just veers different, things like that. I'm all for that, but don't sit there and take a relationship that, again, from the time I started collecting the McFarlane era, right? They had that apartment together. Pete swinging out the window, Venom coming by, to Eric Larson, to Bagley. Y'all two are together. Y'all two are married. Y'all two are existing. You know what I mean? To you, when I found out about the Mephisto thing and all of that stuff, it just was like it didn't make any sense. You know,
I remember reading that or having a friend of mine read that to me in the shop, and I scratched my head, going, "What the fuck?" Like, let me get this straight. So he makes a deal basically with the devil to save his aunt, and it cost him his marriage.
listen, I love my aunt, but it's just like that power and responsibility shit would have went out the window. It's like, Auntie, you're old. I love you. Thank you for everything. You raised me, you took care of me. Aunt May had to be like 80 or so, you know what I mean, in the comics. Just like,
Somewhere
whatever.
between mid, because I was reading up on Aunt May, ironically, before I got into the studio, because I was looking for the wheat cake recipe. I
Them
was
shits are
like,
disgusting.
what's that?
Them shits are disgusting.
Actually, I read what the ingredients is, and I was like, no, I'm not making this.
They're
I
disgusting.
was tempted, and then I read what you had to put in it, and I was like, I think I'd rather eat crack.
Yeah, my wife
Uh,
had made them a while ago, many years ago. We tried to make them. They're disgusting.
yeah, because the recipe is in the Untold Tales of Spider-Man Annual in 1996.
Hmm.
Uh, and I read the ingredients, and I was like, nah. As soon as I saw that it called for like a cup of molasses, I was like, no.
Nope.
Are these wheat cakes, or is this part of? If you make this wrong, this will wind up being crystal meth.
Good one.
With my skills of cooking, I will wind up dying after I eat them.
Yeah, nah, you don't want that, man. You just want to sit there and have a good piece of food, a good snack or something, and call it a
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Like I said, every now and then I was fooling around, and I actually just wanted to see if the recipe was online, because I've been. Let's see, I woke up at 3 in the morning one day this week and couldn't fall back asleep, so I was doing motion comics on YouTube.
I think that's when you had wrote me back. We was talking real quick.
Yep. I guess I was in between me. I was listening to the Mark Miller, Terry Austin run on Marvel Knights Spider Man,
Okay.
which is where they had the story where Matt Gargan becomes Venom. And
Hmm.
one of my
I was
favorite
sitting
Spider
there. I had wanted to go back and reread the. Well, I'm actually sitting here waiting for a copy to come. The Proto Goblin story. They're supposed to be doing something. I seen something in the solicits further down the line. Me and my Canadian Venom partner Jeb from up north, he we pointed out that saw that in the synopsis it said the Proto Goblin's coming, and the Proto Goblin's first appearance was in this like special one-off one shot. No, it was the Peter Parker Spider-Man one A or zero or something like that. But it
Nice.
was like a one shot. It was supposed to be before Spectacular Spider-Man 1, before that issue, like right before it. So
Uh,
waiting for it to come right now to give it a reread and fresh it. I thought I had a copy, but between all these goddamn long boxes, I couldn't find it. So I was already placing the order. I was already placing the order on my comic shop. So I said, right when before I was getting ready to check out, I said, let me just see if they have it, because we having odd books like that. And I popped on, and it was like $4. I said, oh yeah, let me just get this shit since I'm already getting some stuff anyway. I said, let me get it, and they're taking forever to ship. I need a
I have
new cover.
speaking of new books, did you get any Ultimate Black Panther number ones?
Yeah, yeah.
You read the book yet? Because
I got the main cover. I got the Boss Logic. I
nice.
got whoever did this one with the chair and the Panther. This one's fire. I really like this one. It looks real good. And then the last one I got was
Pretty sweet.
this one, the solo one of him leaping in front of some stuff. Yeah, I read it. I liked it. Um, I know a lot of people are fucking bitching and stuff. Well, excuse me, let me sound. I say a
No,
lot of people.
this is Awesome Sauce Radio. I am the most nerdcore comic book podcast on the planet.
Oh yeah, no, of course, no. I'm saying, let me not say that I heard. I said I've watched a few YouTubers on the Wednesday shows and some Thursday shows and stuff like that, and majority of them were really, it's not good, and they were like kind of down on it, but no one really said.
Did we all read different comics? Because I
But
actually,
see,
just
and
the
that's the
first
thing.
time in 3 years, I enjoyed Black Panther.
But see, that's the thing, and that's why I said I was like, I don't think any of them read it. And then like one of them, when they were talking, he was like, "Well, I didn't really read it." He said, "I just skimmed through it." He was like, "I'm gonna sit down and read
Yeah,
it."
that's the
But
fucking problem.
one of the complaints I heard was they was like, "Oh, it's really nothing different. Like how Spider-Man did
Really?
this. Like what they're like, what did the maker do?" And they said, "Oh, but this is the thing." As they complained about saying, "Oh, the maker, it didn't really do anything." Well, except for the last couple pages, but that was at the end. Like, isn't a comic supposed to, aren't they supposed to like lure you in? You read the whole book and it revealed things, showed
Amazon
some
stuff.
things, it revealed some things, it showed some things,
They make you want to
and
go
then
get the next one.
at the
That
end
next comic
it
book
hit
hit.
you. Yeah, then at the end it hits you with a big character change from how you know a character, Killmonger. Then it introduces Storm, Wind Rider, and now all of a sudden he's like my love, and that kind of thing, and then it ends like that. It's like, oh wait, huh, what the hell's going
Yeah,
on?
that made me want
you
to
know
check more, read more about that. And I hear that Wind Rider appeared before somewhere.
yeah, and oh my gosh,
So I
and
haven't had a chance to Google it between taking a nap and
ultimate ultimate invasion 1.
all right.
You see those, well, those books are selling like
They're
crazy these
going
last few days.
anything with the word ultimate, even stuff that isn't related to Ultimate Invasion and this new run of Ultimate stuff is going nuts.
Yes it is.
I just sold a full run of Ultimate Team Up
Oh, you
for
did.
trying out.
Nice.
You know, and I've been getting people asking me. I think that I just hope the Ultimate X-Men keeps the momentum up.
Well, I've been seeing
I don't have a lot of faith in Peach Momoko writing.
I've seen some of the preview images, and I've seen that it's looking, the art is looking good so far. I mean, of course, we're waiting on the story, but listen, no matter what it is, and this is the thing, that this is a completely different universe. I understand some X-Men fans, and me being some of whatever X-Men fan, we have to go into this with no expectations or no previous thoughts about what we know of these characters. We have to look at this as a completely new story as it is. That's like literally the problem I hear when reviewers or talking heads mention these books, especially like the recent Black Panther. They were literally complaining, it's kind of more like the MCU, his father dies and this, that, these things happen. And I'm like, okay, my knowledge of Black Panther was it was very similar the same way too as well, to where Claw, the where Claw broke through the floor, and tried to kill him, and they showed the old Black Panther fighting Captain America, that John Romita run.
Yep.
That was I knew of Black Panther existing before that, but the one that I actually read of him was that one. I read that one. That was the one I knew of Black Panther. So seeing the movie, it was like, oh, the origin is similar. Now we have a book where the Black Panther's origin is similar somewhat, and there's key characters in it that are different, and all of this. It's like I liked it. Me personally, I liked it. Like I said, it did its job. It got me hooked. I want to read number two.
Yeah. It's the
Like
first
I
time.
want to read number two.
It's the first time in a very, very long time that I'm looking forward to reading Black Panther.
Yeah.
I have not read Black Panther since that bullshit. We're gonna send T'Challa to outer space.
Yeah,
Bullshit they did. I haven't read a Black Panther book
intergalactic.
since.
Yeah, the intergalactic Wakandan Empire or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, and the run with Tulsa I sold. I just didn't read.
Hmm.
Uh, and this is the first time in a while I was just like I read it and I was like, this is some
I
great.
skipped through. I read up to the Tosin ones, and it was just like I was for him anyway. At least with his introduction, and even after, I was just waiting for them to do something with him, do something a little more. Their little interactions and stuff. I mean, I don't know what's going on these last few issues, but it was. I was definitely hoping he would have been more of a key character, if not just the Black Panther or his introduction into the Marvel universe. Motherfuckers can leave Wakanda and go somewhere else and cause some damage and do some stuff. So, I
Yeah,
definitely had
as
wonders
far
about
as
that.
Black Panther in the MCU, I'm not really the biggest fan of Black Panther in the MCU.
Okay.
You know what? Just not my cup of tea. It's a well done movie.
Hmm.
Black Panther has always been one of those characters that's I like him, but it's never been like, ooh, I need to run out and get that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I feel the same way. Like,
See, I wear my heart right on my sleeve.
what's that? I can't see.
Let's see. I don't know if I can bring it up. Basically, it's the man without fear.
Oh, Daredevil. Okay.
Yeah, for obvious
You're
reasons.
you're a Matt Murdock sympathizer.
Yeah, that's because I was at the age of 13 when I was diagnosed with with retinitis pigmentosa. I saw myself in the character,
Yeah,
or
that's
I saw
beautiful.
what I could be if I didn't give in to self pity.
Hmm.
And the character made being blindness have being blind cool.
Well, yeah, you took it and turned it on its head. You took it and made it a negative, and, turned it into a positive.
Yeah, so to me, I was like, all right,
I mean,
uh,
and Daredevil is a kick-ass character, though. He's another one on my list of, comics that I read and stuff. Like that Chichetto Zdarsky run to me was fucking phenomenal, man. It was incredible.
I,
It's
I,
like
I
I
was
like,
I'm loving what they're doing with the character now. I thought it was
yeah,
a stroke of genius to finally make Matt turn him from a lawyer to a priest.
you saw that, right? That was when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's different, but it fits the character that it's a different universe, but it fits the character we know so perfectly.
Yeah, even in the mainstream book, the Faber Matt thing,
Hmm.
uh, with him fighting the seven deadly sins right now, it fits the character so beautifully.
Yeah, I'm liking Daredevil. I'm
And
liking Daredevil.
that is the one show in the MCU I'm looking forward to the most.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I've been seeing all these pictures and stills. It's just looking incredible.
I think it's gonna from the little bit that I know, and I'm still under NDA, so I can't really say much. Uh, as part of a team of like 25 different blind consultants, and
Mm.
I think that the show's going to be great.
It should be. It should be. I mean, at least so far the costumes look good. Him and Bullseye or Bullseye Light, whatever, they look real good.
It's the same Bullseye from the Netflix show, so I still.
No, it is, but his outfit, the way
Oh
it
yeah,
looked
the
real.
outfit looks like shit.
No, I mean it looks very tactical. He looks like Beachhead from G.I. Joe.
Yeah. What do you think of the the latest incarnation of GI Joe over at Skybound?
So far, I'm liking it. I read Cobra Commander.
I'm loving Cobra Commander.
Yo, okay, check it out. It wasn't until I read, I never noticed it any other time, and I'm shocked that I didn't because when Transformers came out, they had Transformers the movie official, handbook, not even just handbook, but movie adaptation.
Yep.
They even had the Care Bears movie adaptation. It's just movie
Don't remind me
adaptation
of that. Exactly. It was
was was
forced to
their
see Care Bears movie in the theater.
was their thing like that, right? So I'm sitting there saying to myself, I'm like, yo, damn. I was like, we didn't get one. So shit.
It's only because Larry Hama didn't want anything to do with those characters.
Yeah, and then when reading Cobra Commander, and it's like, soon as I see it, as soon as I see the Cobra La, as soon as I see Globulus and Pythona, like I was a fucking little kid again, man. I was like, oh, this shit is dope. They're doing it. Like, and I like the take on it. But I like the take from the comics too. And it was something I was having a discussion about with somebody at work. He was asking me how much the comics differed from the TV show. I said they differ completely. I said, in the comics, Snake Eyes was like the focal point, you know what I mean? And him and Scarlet were a thing to where it's like on a cartoon, Duke is the focal point. Duke didn't appear till like a bunch of issues later, you know
Yep.
what I mean? So it was one of those things that where it was like, I like personally all the interpretations of G.I. Joe because the characters still have their core character traits that what I'm saying that I liked as a kid, whether it would be Alpine, whether it's shipwreck, whether it's roadblock. And I understand the cartoon was over exaggeration, with the ways they portrayed them, but from the comics, from the Hama original to the new one, I'm liking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking it. I'm just real excited to see what
I'm,
they do with it. You know what I
I'm
mean? But
liking Cobra Commander a lot. I'm liking
but
Duke. I as soon as I figure out where they are and I can hook up with my reader, uh, I am going to read the new Larry Hama book. I rewatched the '87 animated GI Joe movie, and it still holds up beautifully.
I was watching that the other day at work. Had to put one of the guys on at work. He was like, "You had the cartoon." I was like, "Hell yeah!" And I was like, "Man, but these second print covers they got right here with the logos, like it's the Cobra logo for Destro, and then it's
Yeah.
the GI Joe, the star. I mean, these are goddamn beautiful. And then I like these little lineup ones
We
where
need
it's
me.
like,
I just want to say we need some more Baroness and Scarlet cosplay in the world.
I mean, that should be easy, especially for Baroness. Her outfit is
Yeah,
pretty much something you'd see in like a Claire's or something in Macy's and shit.
yeah. Like I said, I had an
Piece
idea
it,
for a GI
piece it
Joe
together.
short film, but uh, I just haven't gotten around to figuring out a few things in it. Uh, but I can't believe that GI Joe and Transformers both turned 40 this year, pretty much, give or
You
take.
know, it wasn't until the toys again Hasbro released the images for a comic, yeah, comic 2-pack, action figure comic 2-pack.
Yep.
So when I seen the email, I'm not a member of Hasbro or whatever, but when I seen the email, it said, "Oh, transform," and click on it, and it's just like, wow. It's like the thing, GI Joe and Transformers are literally like new comics out now. You know what I mean? And we just had Thundercats released this Wednesday.
Thundercats, and
It's
then
like,
I also just watched the new He-Man thing on Netflix, and I'm like,
I haven't watched it yet. I seen the first one and I was a little upset at that one, so I haven't started this new one yet.
I'm biased because you know the creative team behind the show.
Okay.
Uh, it's no secret that I'm a loyal, devoted Kevin Smith follower. So
No, it's like the show was good. It's just like shit. It's He Man. I wanted more He Man. You know what I mean? It's like,
I can see that.
and I get if there was some little test he had to go through, and it was going to be a little continuation or whatever. Yo, don't make that shit 4, 5, 6 episodes. That's supposed to just be a little light three connector, and then move on. Like, you know what I mean? If the kids pick up on it, screw it, they don't. But more often than not, the children did pick up on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, what do you think of the modern comic book market in general at the moment?
What do you mean, like the secondary market?
Just like the secondary market, new books. It just seems to me, it just like everything seems a little flat right now.
I mean, it's funny you say that because I'm in the chat with a lot of the guys from Canada, a lot of these, lot the influencers and stuff like that. It's a big chat, like 100 or so people, and they're all praising how the new year is starting off to a good way with comics. Whether it was the stories at the very end of the year, but everything that's going on now with people are buying comic books. The top 10 is littered with books that are being read. Like,
That is true. I
you know, there
that's
isn't, there isn't, and I understand this is new for what it's been the last, year or so and stuff like that. I understand it's new to that effect, but it's like I was in the shop literally the last couple of days, like, popping in and out, right? And I'm in there briefly, and this kid comes in, pulls out his phone. Ultimate, I see it. He goes. I hear him start to say, "Oh, do you have this?" I'm like, "Oh, let me see what it is." And the girl knows me. She usually asks me to help her sometimes. So she flashes the phone and goes like this to me, like, "How do I tell him?" So I'm like, "You're my man." I'm like, "Yo, that book came out like 3 weeks ago." He's like, "Oh, really?" He pulls out his phone and Google. He's like, "Yo, I'm not paying that much." But he said, but the funny part was he came in there because his friend collects comics, and they used to collect comics when they were younger. He had to look like he was probably like in his late 30s. And he goes, "Yeah, he's telling me that how good the story is and what's happening and what's supposed to be happening." The guy was like, "Yeah, I just want to come in, like I gotta read it for myself." That is doing more for the comics now than those. Remember how before in the 90s they used to hype up fucking news clips.
yeah,
Marvel,
yeah,
Mar-
and I'm
Marvel
seeing
artists,
that.
yeah, Marvel artists
I
explore
guess
Sicily
the
and
question
stuff
I
or
wanted to
whatever.
ask
Say it again.
was, do you think we're getting back to a reader-based market at this point?
Yeah, so far. I mean, again, we're gonna if you pop on drunken chat tonight, if Lucas gets it going early or whatever, or just in general, if you see it later or listen to it
Yeah,
later.
like I said, if he remembers to send me the link, and if I don't
Sleep.
fall asleep, or if I
Well,
don't get distracted by,
we'll put it
uh,
like this. Put it like this, Adam. You're blind, Adam. I'll make a blind bet. I would put money on it. 6 out of the 10 books on the CBS hardcover, whatever it is, whatever the generic one is. The I pretty much guarantee you whatever list it is, 6 out of 10 is all going to be related to reader driven books, not no movies in production, not I heard this person is going to play this person and da 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 da. Anything related to that right now that comes out, I think in this new year is going to fall flat. So anything that is moving or is doing good on the secondary market is literally based on reader spec or legit appreciation for the artwork, the story, scarcity. Again, like I have 2 copies of that Afro. That book sold for $150 the other day at auction.
who already?
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's another one going on right now. I'm gonna check it in a little bit, but I have two copies of that book. One of them I got for $20 from my comic shop, and the other one I got from my local LCS for $40 with a
That was one of
discount.
the few Star Wars books that you know, said after it dropped and after it was already going for 100. And I was just like, I do enough, go to enough conventions, like I'll eventually grab one.
You know, so it's like with the new books and stuff like that. I see that, like I said, I see them moving. Again, I'm in the chat with it's on Telegram, and again, Adam, it's like 100 plus guys in there, and they literally this one guy that literally like posts the sales of modern books like every other fucking half hour or so. It gets annoying at times, but you can see by end of day what books are moving, what the people are really like, going after. So
That's
it's
awesome.
like it's like I tell everybody, at least so far, especially is if they're gonna keep doing these character covers, order the character covers, if anything, just because there's gonna be completionists out there that want it. And again, like for me, like this right here, this shit right here was a no brainer to put the Destro with the Destro figure.
Is
Like
that the one you showed on Instagram earlier?
yeah, there you go. So it's like there was no, you know what I'm saying? It was like peanut butter and jelly. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
let's just go
I
with that.
wish I wish the voice actor for Destro from the cartoons did interviews.
Yeah. Oh,
I've been trying to get him on the podcast for an interview.
why doesn't he do interviews?
Just because of his age.
Oh, okay.
He's like in his mid 80s, so
Understand it.
which a lot of the original GI Joe cartoon voice cast is. They're up there, and a lot of them just like they want their time to be their time,
Hmm.
and some of them are just retired, and others I just been lucky with.
Okay.
You know, like if anyone wants to help me book Frank Walker for the podcast, I'll gladly give you a king's ransom. Because Frank Walker was one of my childhood heroes as a voice actor.
Wow. Okay.
Been in every cartoon since the beginning of time.
Nice.
You
That was
know,
one of the two characters.
like I said, he's got this one video of him. It's called Scooby Doo Brings Megatron Pizza. I use the voice of
I, I
Fred.
think I seen that.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is awesome.
No, it is. I mean, that's cool that he's been able to do that for so long and do it for so many different characters.
Yeah. You go to any of the conventions at all, or you go to any
Say that
conventions
again?
at all, or
No. I was hoping to go to my first convention this year when the Comic Con tickets go on sale. I'm gonna get a couple and slide through. It's a shame. Been in New York all my life and haven't been to a comic convention there once. But I'm hoping to change that real soon, though. I've just been to maybe like small conventions and stuff, small little things, personal town stuff. Like how back in the '80s they would have like a parade and He-Man would be on it or something like that. Things of that nature.
yeah, I'm seeing a couple of those. You know, just don't go to Disney on Ice.
No, I'm good.
Disney on Ice pisses me off.
No. Yeah,
It's nothing
yeah.
but a money trap. You know, anything Disney right, that and Disneyland or Disney World, that's another money trap that pisses me off.
I mean, yeah, I'm just tired of the long lines, man, and everything being so goddamn expensive.
Yeah, like I said, I went to Disney World last time I was there was in 2022, and
Okay, you was just
it's
there.
like $100. It's like $100 and a quarter just getting to the fucking park.
Minute
And
you step
Mickey's like,
out,
oh boy, just give me the fucking wallet, Adam. Oh boy,
see
I'll take all
the
your
thing.
credit cards and you can give me some hookers. Go ride Space Mountain, you fat blind bastard. Oh boy.
Yeah, he gonna feel it whenever he takes that stuff off.
I just saw that they did. I saw a trailer for Pooh and Honey 2. Does the Winnie the Pooh horror movie really need a sequel? You know, between that and the Mickey Mouse horror movie, that looks god awful. It's gonna be interesting when Superman and Batman go into the public domain. You know, yeah, Spidey, did you freeze?
I did for a second. Yeah, I was sitting there looking like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, no, so I was like, wait a minute, I had no audio, and I was like, okay, but you
Yeah, I'm
know,
in the basement, man. I tried to get one of those extender routers, the router
yep,
extension thing, the signal. Yeah,
yeah,
it helps when it wants to.
yeah. So, do you think Taylor Swift will be playing Dazzler?
Do I think she'll be playing Dazzler? Shit, at this point, she better be playing Dazzler. I'm tired of hearing that broad's name. No, in all seriousness, I don't think she'll be playing Dazzler because Dazzler's not going to be a part of the movie in a significant way. If she does play Dazzler, it is literally going to be her Dazzler appearance is just going to probably amount to the same Dazzler appearance that was in the old X-Men movies to when they got to the camp and you seen the girl doing the singing and the Dazzler powers.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
actually
much it.
think that uh, they'll have her do a 2 to 3 minute cameo
Mhm.
singing at a concert. She'll go in the she'll roller skate away, and you'll never see her again.
Yeah.
Because I think what they want to do. How do you have Deadpool 3 have the highest selling soundtrack of all time? I think they want her for the soundtrack more than anything else.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because I just because you can't go anywhere right now without hearing this bitch's name. Someone who dances like a stripper and dresses like a prostitute and dances around on stage with her little songs with the "Shake It Off" and
That's up your alley, Adam.
uh, I plead the fifth, Your Honor. Just like the Phantom Zone villains and Superman 1 and 2, I'm guilty. But you can't go anywhere for like 5 minutes without hearing the name Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's funny too. It's like I forgot where I was. I think it was one of the comic shops when I was there looking for something for Black Panther, and I walked into guys having a conversation about Taylor Swift. And I was glad one of them actually came to the point like, all right, cool, fuck it. If she is in the movie, who cares? She's playing Dazzler. No one cares about Dazzler. I like how we have this revisionist history with comics and shit to where it's like if someone's playing it, then now all of a
All of a
sudden it's
sudden,
like
they
a real
become
power thing.
the best thing since sliced vagina.
You know what I mean? And it's funny to an extent, but then after a while it gets a little irritating. I get irritated because it's like, yo, we were just here like about a month ago, like it's the same shit.
I mean, Dazzler has her hardcore fan. There's two category of
She
Dazzler
does. She
fans.
does. Yo, I know she has fans because she had a solo book back in the day, like even before all of this hype. I get it. She has fans, but it's like
She has fans.
whether the girl
She
appears in the movie or not, it's not
review
going to be
shits.
significant. Like her appearance is not going to have any significance at all. And if it does, it's only because now this is what everyone is saying that they want, or and Ryan Reynolds does a little, you know what I mean, a little Ryan Reynolds and changes things up.
If there's a Taylor Swift sex tape, And she's in the Dazzler costume. By performing in said sex tape. Wake me up, let me know, and then I'll give an honest and professional opinion. But until then, uh, she's a talented performer, smart businesswoman. Goes through boyfriends like napkins or celebrating. You know, can we just go into like something a little bit more cool? Do you think this Sunday during the halftime show we get the Deadpool 3 teaser at least?
Do I think we get it this Sunday?
Yeah, you think we get a trailer?
We're gonna get a teaser, not a trailer.
That's what I
Now,
thought.
whether or not that trailer does the BS of being 2 minutes or whatever, it don't matter. We're gonna get a teaser, and we're gonna get a trailer way later.
Alright, so I should be happy. I bought another New Mutants 98. And just because somebody of mine offered me a copy at a price I couldn't refuse. And it was like a 5.0 copy, but it was like for $150. I was like, yeah, why not?
That's not a bad price.
Yeah.
I would assume, unless you do the whole check the last sales and all that other shit.
Yeah, I was hoping it's just a friend of mine I've known since the 6th grade, so occasionally they're going for some money issues, so I did not mind just being like here, this helping out a friend. A friend, anytime he'd be like, hey, you do anything tomorrow? You want me to go food shopping? Be my eyes. Hey, you doing anything this weekend? You want to help me do a comic show? It's kind of hard to, when you see friends of yours struggling like that. So it's just like, so it's like that.
Yeah, that's
like,
different.
don't even do the check GPA or cover price or last sales. Like, what do you want for it? Here you go. Here's a little extra. Make sure the kids get
Yeah. Like I'm thinking now, I got a bunch of books I want to sell, but it's like, I don't want to go through and check the averages and all that. I don't give a shit. Like, just trust me, you're getting the deal, my man. Like, it was so, 150. Like, yeah, you're probably just gonna pay $30 or to 25.
Amazon stop.
What it is. Look at that. Amazon told you to shut the hell up. You're talking too much.
No, I just have little key points because I try to keep the. I'm not Lucas where the show goes on for like 80 hours and we all, by the end of it, you see 4 people. Yes, and this is on FOC. It's going to be a great book. And Disney's up by 2 points. It's 88. Buy it at 90.
By 2 points?
By the time we get to FOC sometimes, I'm just like, in the middle of FOC, I'm just like, okay, we're almost done. Hang on. Hey, I'll be out there in a minute. I want to thank you for coming on tonight, bro.
Nah, man, thank you for having me, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate it. Say it again one more time.
I really want to thank you for being a guest tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, man. Like I said, it was my mom forgetting that I do a podcast on Friday nights, saying that they want to do birthday cake for my old man.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Get to it. It's 9 o'clock before it get too late. Still get a little bit of time afterwards to eat something and rest. Yep. And hopefully we get Drunken Chat started a little early tonight.
All right, cool. If you guys want to come, send me a message so I definitely know.
I got you.
All right, man. Once again, thank you. Have a great night.
All right, man. No doubt. Talk to you later, Adam.
Skip the edit live awesome cancel button restart the show edit new layout. Skip the edit live awesome sauce rate cancel button restart but pause button end stream button enter dialogue. Not yet button end stream enter stream log match studio.